I'm Kira. This is my English teacher, Miss Acontolato, and she has been so nice to agree to let me interview her about her experience being a foster parent. What was it like being a foster parent?
It was really hard. I mean, there are some fantastic rewards, the first time, a kid goes, "I love you."
Oh, yeah.
Or the first time, it's weird with foster kids, you're not quite their adoptive parent, you're not, and so what was cool was when the kids were starting to sort of feel out, like, I wonder how they would react, they would react if we called them mom or dad, testing that out a little bit. Eventually our foster our sons decided to just call us by Jamie and Neil. That was just, it came more naturally, especially because the kids were older. They came into our home when one of them was in 6th grade and the other one was halfway through his freshman year. And that's when they joined us. So, and they still kept in touch with their biological parents. And so it felt a little, I don't think it would have, it felt a little bit artificial. I mean, I loved it when they called me mom and dad, but I just think it fell into a more of a natural rhythm to call us by our first names. And my husband and I didn't mind that as much. The challenges were just, one of the younger ones would have a temper tantrum. He kind of had anger management issues because of his trauma. And he was also bigger than me. So having to navigate through that was really hard. And at times it got really scary, actually, because his temper was so out of control. And, and that's why it didn't quite work out, because I think I was just scared,
Yeah.
But the older one, he, did not have a temper problem. He was, was able to control himself, and, he did whatever he was told pretty much. He was a studious kid who, excelled academically, wanted to go to college, and so those were some of the highs and the lows that we went through as foster parents.
What led you to becoming a foster parent?
So my husband and I had 2 miscarriages, and so, it was quite a devastating blow, and I think my husband really wanted to be a dad in some way. He felt an emptiness that his job wasn't quite filling. For me, being a teacher, I have kids I work with every day, so for me it wasn't such a big deal, but I knew that my husband needed something more, so we decided to become foster parents and kind of give back in that way. There's so many kids who don't have families, I wanted older kids. My husband wanted younger kids. Younger kids are scary to me. I mean, I'm a high school English teacher, so I know high school kids. So that's why we went with older kids.
Okay. What was your favorite moment of being a foster parent? Like any special?
There were several, but I mean, I distinctly remember the first time, my husband and I, we were leaving the house, we're going out with friends, and the younger one, 6th grader, yells out, "Okay, love you, Mom," and that just like touched my heart. So, just to hear the "I love you" was so unexpected, and we're like, "Love you too," and we left, and I just remember telling my husband, "Oh my God, he said I love you to it," so that was a sweet moment for sure.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for letting me interview you and giving me the experience to understand just a little bit better.
Sure.
So awesome. What was the most surprising thing about becoming a foster parent?
How hard it was. No one can prepare us for the challenges. No one. There's a movie called Instant Family that recently came out. My husband and I watched it, but my husband got mad when he watched the movie. I liked it because I thought it did a good job capturing some of the challenges. But my husband said, there is no way, that movie does not even come close to how hard it was for us. I mean, our foster son who's now in college, he was easy. He was easy because he's just an easy kid. But his brother had some challenges that we were not prepared for, and letting him go, the younger one go, was one of the hardest decisions that my husband and I ever had to make. And so nothing would have prepared us for that challenge.
What would be something you would change about the foster system if you could?
One thing I would change about the foster system is how hard, I mean, I don't have details about exactly how I would do it, but for my husband and I, it took us 2 years to take all the parenting classes, go through all the interviews and all of that to finally officially become foster parents. And I don't think it had to be that lengthy and hard of a process. Our house had to go through, they have to approve the house, the environment, and all of that. And I don't know, there were so many hoops that we had to go through that ultimately didn't really do much to prepare us at the end of the day. I understand you want to make sure that the families that these kids are going into are, legitimate families, and that they're going home to good families who aren't going to abuse them further.
Yeah.
So there does need to be a background check, but all the classes we had to take, all of that was just, I don't know, to me a little bit unnecessary, a little bit excessive. So I mean, if it's just easier to become foster parents, I think that's the one change that I would try to make.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.